Hello, Ariana here from Scale and Simplify. In this video, I want to show you how to create an email sequence. And specifically, I'm going to use the example of an email sequence that would go to your opt-in subscribers after you've shared or after they've signed up for some sort of freebie with you. So I'm going to use one of mine as an example here to show you from this account. And I'm going to talk through each of the sections in there, but what you would do is you would click to create a sequence, and then you will be in the builder that I am in as well. So I just want to talk through the mechanics of like what happens at each of these steps. So first you have your starting rule. Now what you're going to add here is your opt-in form in the event that you're creating a sequence for your freebie opt-in form. So here, you will have needed to create the form first, and then you can come in here and select which form that is. And this is going to tell the system that anytime somebody fills in that particular form, they're going to get pulled in and start receiving the emails and going through the automations set out in there. You can do different starting rules though. You can add a tag. I like to add a tag as well as an opt-in form, for example, because sometimes there's a need to sort of manually put somebody in a given sequence. Let's say something goes wrong and this is not working for them for a given reason, or you just want to offer it to somebody that you were talking to, you can add the tag, and then if you're just adding a tag to the contact, they're going to get pulled in. Okay, same thing with order. Oftentimes you will have email sequences after somebody purchases something. So here you can select the product, and then that will be the trigger. So you can have multiple triggers. Oftentimes it's, maybe a couple. You don't want to have too many because usually the emails are tailored to one specific instance of like either they're signing up for a freebie or they're ordering something or so on. There are also sequence related triggers. This is more advanced, so I'm just going to stick to talking about the opt-in form, and you can use order form as triggers as well. Okay, so this is like, how is the person going to get pulled in? And then after that, you're going to start placing in different things to tell Kartra what to do with that contact. So for your freebie, often the first thing here is going to be sending a welcome email. So over here on the left-hand side, you're going to drag out send email right after previous step because you want it to happen right after they opt in. You can leave this all the same. Okay, this is just giving me an error because this is an email that I don't use. Here you can specify if it's anybody reaching this step, or maybe you don't want to include certain people who don't have a particular tag. I'm just going to use this as the example. And then you're going to put in your email content. I'm just going to do this for now. But you can, switch it to rich HTML to build a nicer email, or it can be a simple HTML, simple text one, like this. And then you're going to hit create. Okay, from there, you're going to connect it. Whoops. So when you hover over these little pieces here, you can connect to the email or to the next step. I'm not doing it now just because I'm in a already built sequence, but that's how you would, you want to make sure that they're connected, and you can click to activate to make it live. So I'm just going to delete this one. So in the event that you have an email sequence, oftentimes, you're going to, or an opt-in sequence rather, you're going to have your opt-in form selected here. You're going to have several different emails on the subsequent ones when you're setting them up. you're going through the different settings, you're going to state that you, hang on, let me do this again. So let's say you're doing your second email. For the second one, on the delay step, you're going to say, okay, 2 days later, I want to send the next email. And then you're going to go through the rest of it just like you did before. So that's where you put in the delay. It's in the first step of the settings when you're setting up an email. You can always change that as well. So let's say like this one here, I've got it 6 hours. You can go back, click edit, and then edit any of these pieces here, whether it be when it's sent, what the actual email is, the delay. So here you can adjust the delay and hit edit to save it. So once the contact has received all of the emails that you have, you're going to have your series of emails. I like to subscribe people to a newsletter list at the end of that. And this just helps me. It's one of the ways that you can sort of control who gets your newsletters if you're using that list as a way to segment people. So when they opt in, they're added to all contacts, but then within here, I'm adding them to another different list based on that they've gotten a certain way through this particular sequence. You can also add and remove tags. So if you drag this out, it'll, allow you to add a tag or remove a tag once they hit a certain part in the sequence. Something that you can use that for that's really helpful is at the start of your sequence, you can add a tag that says in welcome sequence, okay? So you create a tag in welcome sequence. I'll do it here as an example. Add a tag, create a new tag. So do not disturb. This is my do not disturb tag. Okay, create. Okay, and then I would do the link this to connect it here, and then link this to the next one here, like that, and activate it. Okay, I'm going to delete it just because I'm doing this for demonstration purposes. So here you would add the in welcome sequence do not disturb tag, and then at the very end, you're going to select to remove that same tag. So again, you're going to drag this out, except this time you're going to say remove tag, in welcome sequence, add. Okay, and now it's set to, let me activate it, remove tag in welcome sequence D&D. And so what you can do with this, it's really helpful to control communication that you're sending while somebody is in a nurture sequence like that. And so if they have that tag, you know that they're currently progressing through a sequence that you've intentionally put together to take them on a specific kind of journey through getting to know you and getting their freebie and all of that. And then when you're sending email newsletters or promos or anything, you can exclude that. So you can always say that for the recipients, exclude anyone who has the in welcome sequence D&D tag. And so then they won't be getting their nurture emails from this welcome sequence as well as whatever else that you're sending out because it might create some confusion for them. So hopefully that is all clear and helps you with some of the basics of setting up an email automation or sequence as they call it in Kartra.